turn your radio up. Louder. Louder. Just a little bit louder. Because the next hour, you're going to be tuned in to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones and Mardy Ringer. Hey, can we just stick with Mardy? Because like that Mardy ring, it don't have that ring to it, you know? I'm just saying. And Mardy, with your hosts Doni Jones and Mardy, sponsored by Don's Tree Service. It's Doni Jones Live, right here, right now, right now. Doni Jones Live.
Hello. Welcome to Doni Jones Live. I am your host, Doni Jones, hanging out with
Mardy Ringer this week.
Mardy
yes.
Ringer. Okay.
Yep, I'm using my legal name this week.
You
Yep.
ain't running from nobody.
Not this week. I paid all my back debt and everything. And, you know, I'm in a new place right now in life.
That's a beautiful
you know,
place. What place are you at right now,
I'm at a
Mardy?
place of peace, you know, with all of the tragedy and everything. And, you know, I kind of asked myself, how do I want to go out?
Yeah.
You know, my last thing, how do I want to go out? And I thought about my grandfather. I want to go out just like he did. You know,
I got a feeling.
peaceful in his sleep. Not like the guy he was driving, who was yelling his head off. Wake up! You know, I want to go out peaceful.
Mardy, you
I'm in a
ain't
good
right,
place.
man.
I'm in a
See,
good
I
place.
thought you were going to go in a different direction.
What? What kind of?
You know how some people go in their sleep, you know, something got their heart racing. And
Oh, well,
I
you
thought
know
that
what?
was-
There's if I had my bucket list,
That would be the way you
that'd
go.
be. Well, I said I like to be woken up.
There you go. So that you're aware of what's going on.
Right,
I hear
but
you.
I would like to go to. If I had to go, I would like to go maybe in a sexual.
I didn't
Then
even
a
use,
sexual thing.
I was trying not to use the word
Oh.
because we are a family show.
Yeah, we a family, and that's how
But
you make
that's how you
family.
make a family.
That's how you make family. You focus on that. I'm saying, just think about the best ways of going.
Mardy.
You know, I'd say I go into church. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
okay,
you know,
well-
back in the day, years ago, they had.
Right.
Well, that's an educational
That's a
thing,
whole
but
nother
but they
story.
did have people that did services in churches way back in the day, very
What kind of
years ago.
church was that?
It was the beginning of the churches that most people believe in today. But that's a whole different thing. It was before they said Mary Magdalene that's
Okay.
a bad
Right.
job that she
Okay,
had
got it.
when it was
You
acceptable.
know what? It is. It
You
is
know.
the oldest profession in the world.
It is, and it's still in business.
Somehow we
You
are
know,
getting way.
How
off
do you think my
target.
mama put me through school? You know,
Marty.
I'm just saying. And she was a minister
You know,
too.
people know your mama's last name. now.
Well, that's why this week I'm getting payback. I
There
use
you
my
go.
real name. No.
He said, Mama,
Anyway,
you got mama.
but we got a guest today.
We do have a guest today.
Yes.
You gonna make me forget we had a guest, but he's so awesome. He's actually unforgettable. He's an amazing man, and y'all
Yes.
know I'm always trying to holler at people and bring people on the show that are doing great things in the community and making a difference. And some of y'all may already know this gentleman. He's a pastor.
Yeah.
He's an artist.
Bam.
He's a TV personality.
Bam.
He been on Preachers of Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
And not only that, he just came off a gig at the Dove Awards in Nashville. So you guys, I
Trifecta.
feel really blessed to have this gentleman with me. And you know what? We're talking about none other than Judah Swilley.
Yes, sir. What's up, Donnie?
Yeah, what's happening? What's
How you
happening,
feeling, man? I'm blessed to be here. I'm happy. Man.
Well, we're happy.
I'm
you're
happy for
right.
you too. Like you're moving on up.
Right.
This studio is crazy.
Y'all know the last time he came,
Yeah.
we have a camera sitting on like one of those
Yeah,
little music
we had a
stands.
Yeah,
music
it was like the air
stand.
conditioning unit. Which,
Yeah,
I mean,
we
I
had-
have those in my house, so I ain't judging anybody.
No.
Like,
I remember that. Yeah, every time they was about to go, you had to cut the AC off so it'd be quiet. Yeah.
Exactly.
Had a little duct
Right.
tape to keep the little soundboard up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had duct tape hanging on
Right.
the mic, holding the mic up and everything.
You know, we had a dusty clock too. You couldn't
That's
even
true.
see the time in there. I thought about that. You couldn't even get the time in there. You just look at the big clock.
Like I said, I feel like the Jefferson moving on up to the east side.
Yeah.
But this ain't the east side, though.
No, this ain't.
Well,
No.
leave that alone. Leave
I'm
it
surprised a lot of
Leave it
people don't know that
alone.
song on this side of town.
That's
right.
You know,
Why you gotta go there?
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just saying, like what version is that?
What?
No, I just came back from a seminary school like for a week,
Yes,
and
you
they made me play, the piano or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny, even like Amazing Grace, it's like what are you playing? That's
Yeah, I
not the
was
way
like,
we
that
sing
ain't-
it.
You
That's
played
not
the Aretha Franklin version
right,
of Amazing Grace.
And they put a hymnal in front of me, and I'm like, we don't read by that. We
Yeah.
don't. our music's so much a little different. It's the same.
It is a little different.
It's the same hymn book.
But it's got a different rhythm.
It got
and
a different
beat.
swag
But
in
that's
it, you know.
all right, because we sitting with a man that's got
Right.
some swag. That's what's so cool about
I
having
always
Judah
tell
here.
people I'm like white chocolate. You think I'm white till you take a bite. You know what I'm talking about?
man.
See, I'm like
can
black
fit in wherever
mustard.
I
I
go.
like that.
Oh, but you
Okay,
know,
okay.
it's so funny because I should mention that he's also a DJ, man.
I do
You
do
know
that.
what? Not just a DJ, he's a sought after DJ.
Yeah. That was kind of birthed out of what we call hustle and grind.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
having to be out
You
here.
were gonna say birthed out of the spirits of
No.
no.
That's birthed out of the spirit of Georgia Power calling me like, yo, your lights
Yeah.
are off in 10 minutes if you don't pay.
And you gotta go
Like,
make some money.
Yeah, I'm gonna go DJ a wedding. today.
There you
That's what I'm
go.
gonna
There
do.
you go.
So, yeah, it's been awesome to be able to do that.
Well, we're glad to have you, man. I'm serious. For you to take time out of your day to hang with us and tell us about what's going on in your world really means a lot. So what is going on in your world right
Yeah.
now?
Man, so much is going on right now. We're working on some new television projects. Some of it I can't put out yet, but
Oh,
just
man,
be on the
that undercover
lookout.
stuff.
Yeah, one of them I can tell you about is called Faith Star Today, and we're doing
Yeah.
basically like entertainment news for faith-based entertainment.
Nice.
That is
So I'm really
cool.
excited about that. That's why I was at the Dove Awards and having a good time wilding out on the red carpet.
Love it.
We're also working on some more scripted television, which is crazy because I've always been in reality television.
Right.
But we're working on some scripted stuff right now, and again, it's in the early
So that
works.
means you're gonna be like Academy Award winner.
Oh,
Judah
well, I don't
Swilley.
know.
Judah
I love
Swilley.
it.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. But
Right.
but yeah, it's some really cool stuff, man. Like God's just like been moving in my life.
Yeah.
And I've really just been trying to open my heart, expand my vision, expand my expectancy.
But you know, I'm glad you said that because I've never seen you as somebody that's just this. You know, even as
Yeah.
a young cat, I would see you and I'm like, man, this dude is touching people's lives, young, old, black, white, and it's not just confined to church. Did you do that on purpose?
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, for me, like, I didn't do it on purpose, but I grew up in church, so that's
Right.
the way that I learned how to communicate. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and I love church folk. But at the end of the day, if we don't
I'm
reach
glad
people
you do.
outside, I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm messing with you. I love church.
If we don't reach people outside of the walls, though,
Right.
like, dude,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what are we doing? Like,
Right.
Jesus didn't set up a church and say, everybody meet me here on Sunday morning.
Right.
Like, he would just
Right.
go to where the people were.
That's right.
And as a pastor, like, I want y'all to come on Sunday morning. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's all good. But
Right.
at the end of the day, like, what are we doing Monday through Saturday?
Yeah.
Like, where are
Yeah.
we at and how are we reaching the community?
Absolutely.
Like if we cease to exist, will the community still be at the level that it is? And I want to know that it wouldn't be. Like I
Right.
want to know that we're making that type of difference. So like growing up in church, man, it was awesome to be that impact.
Right.
But it's like I'm always geared for the world.
Right.
Let's change the world and not just the church.
But somewhere along
yeah.
the line, especially growing up in church, but there had to have been somewhere along the line where you looked up and said, you know what, I got a bigger calling than this. Was that hard for you going back to, you know, your roots and going, okay, these are my roots, but I'm going in a different direction. Was that hard for you?
Nah, it wasn't hard because, you know, one of my biggest idols and influences is Martin Luther King. And like,
Yeah.
he was able to use his pulpit for change. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he didn't just stay in the church. I mean, what he did in the church was amazing and his
Right.
sermons are very impactful. And
Yeah.
I've read and listened to a lot of those. But the work that he did outside of it,
Yeah.
didn't, like, it wasn't mutually exclusive. Like,
Right.
He was able to do that and do this.
Yeah.
And to me,
So how you
Yeah.
be doing okay, so speaking of doing that and doing this, I heard because he DJ'd a party for me.
Yeah.
And I'm saying some of the lyrics, I was like, dude, people get their twerk on with him.
See?
DJ.
Ain't nothing
How
wrong
do you
with it.
balance that?
Yeah, you know, I think like I'm just a real person. Like
Yeah.
I never like if you could look at perfection, I'm as far as you can get from that, and I'm transparent.
That would be
about
me
that.
too.
Yeah, like I don't claim to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like I'm just, but I'm also authentic, and I will
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
be that. Like I can promise you, I'll be that. And so whether it's through music or television, whatever kind of entertainment, whatever I'm doing in my life, I want to be real. I want to keep it totally 100.
That.
What do you think?
You know, I know it's a few things inside the production room just went on, but this threw me off. But you know, it is cool that, you know, you being able to do different things
Yeah.
and understand that people do look at you sometimes like, okay, pastor, and they want to put you in an individual box.
Right.
And it's like, okay, don't put me in a box that I wasn't meant to fit in, you know?
Exactly.
But, you know, do you get any criticism from anybody else that, like, in a sense, like she was saying, well, you playing that kind of music?
Yeah.
You know, because
Right.
one of the things that being on this show, sometimes my humor is my humor. And it's like,
It's
okay, like
dirty.
separate. I want to make sure that people separate, you know, in a sense, my entertainment life.
Right.
You know, even though I'm 100%, you know, what I say, I pretty much believe,
Right.
especially if it's theological stuff. But do you ever get questioned about, you know, well, are you doing this to get money? You know, are you doing this for the wrong reasons? You know, now we can talk about this now. Actually, let's do this on the other side of the commercial
Let's
break.
do that, yeah.
You know,
because I want to get into that.
Yeah, so just fester on that,
All right.
you know.
Yes.
But if they want to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Official Judah. Every Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that is Official Judah.
Okay, that's cool. And you can reach Donnie Jones at Donnie Jones Live at
DonnieJonesLive.com.
See, I wanted to stand up.
Okay, you can reach me or us at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DONI Jones JONES LIVE @gmail.com. Yeah.
We'll be right back. Donnie Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am your host, Doni Jones, hanging out with
Fly Mardy. Marty yeah,
you
me.
can't take Fly Marty because that's like the fly jock, you know.
But no, because Marty McFly was the first one. I'm just Marty McFly.
That's right. So you the originator.
I'm the originator. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm versatile with it.
I love that.
I'm versatile with my flyness.
You bi versatile.
Right. Well, no. See, they catch people in church like that. You know, ain't it good? Yeah. You gonna get $10?
But anyway, we're hanging out with Judah Swilley. He is a pastor. He is an artist, and he is a TV personality, and he makes all of that work so well.
Yes.
Right before we went to break, we were talking about being able to balance that and being able to share your gift with the world. And you want to expand a little bit on that again?
Yeah, like my man asked me, like, you know, do I get criticisms? Like, yes, absolutely. Do I care? Absolutely not.
I wouldn't either. Right. I wouldn't.
I stopped caring a long time ago. Like, when I was on Preachers of Atlanta, like, if you're on a national platform or any platform for that matter, even if you're on your local station, people are going to hate. You got people that call me Illuminati because I do my hands like this sometimes in a photo show. I'm like, bro, I didn't think about
I'm not,
bro.
I've never
You know,
I'm like, if I told him, I was like, if I'm in the Illuminati, they ain't paying me enough.
Right, yeah.
I'm out here.
Look, I got criticized my first time doing a church service on my own. I did it at a strip club, you know, and because I wanted to invite it and bring it to the people, and they criticized me.
You was laying hands on people,
right? I'm saying you throw
Laying
your dollars
holy hands.
anyway. You got your communion juice and other juices and whatever you want to do, you can be yourself. You know, they say come as you are. I got so much hate. You know, I had a little cross that they could slide down and everything and spin around. I got so much criticism. And I just couldn't keep the rent
Marty,
for the.
that's a shame. That's a shame.
I
Are you
was
still
being
in the
me.
strip club, Marty? That's all I want to know.
I'm in the business of it, you
No,
know,
okay.
because everybody got their
You're in the world, not of the world.
Right.
Exactly.
And really,
you're trying to get them to come to church.
right. And I play the
Right.
people's, you know, what people and community because I believe in service
That's
and you know
right.
helping out your community and senior
And you
citizens.
believe in
They
being
still.
served.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even more so, I'm passionate about my senior citizens,
Absolutely
you know,
you
and
are.
they have still skills that they had when they was youthful.
That's right.
So right now I'm working on a senior citizen strip club for seniors that still want to, you know, do their thing that they did in their
Seniors
youth.
that still wanna
Right, but
go
just do it a little bit to slower music.
And they get 10%
right.
off on Tuesday.
Right, you know, and you throw quarters, you know, versus dollar bills, you know.
Okay,
that,
I feel you. Going back to
That might be
Judah
the new thing right there.
Swilley,
That might be
Right,
the
I'm
new
sorry.
the
I'm sorry.
pastor,
Say-
the artist.
That's
the
why I'm trying to be quiet. Let me
Hey, I just want a
focus.
percentage on that new business.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I just
You
want
know-
to be in
Get
on
his
it.
hustle on, so.
Right.
Hey,
you know.
I'm down.
And you DJ too, you know. Hey.
It's
Yeah,
what it
no,
is.
I can MC it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, you can lay hands.
I will lay
and
hands.
he can DJ.
And Ben Gay too.
Oh,
70 and up.
snap.
Right.
70 and up.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I love what you're doing, man, and I love the impact that you're having. I love what you're putting out. Being a pastor, I know you've got a church that is called The Movement. Tell us about your church.
Yeah, so the Movement Church, we meet every Sunday. It's exciting, man, just to be a part of something that is not just a church, it really
Right.
is a movement. And
Yeah.
when we say that, we don't want it just to be our name. Like, it's the mission, it's the concept.
Absolutely.
We want to move people to a new place. We
Yeah.
want to progress as a church. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
it's time for the church to update.
Yes.
It's time for the church to change. There's so
Yeah.
many things that are wonderful about church, but there's so many other things that really need to be updated. And we're trying to do that.
And
well, it's funny
it was
because
wonderful.
on our last segment where we talking last week when we were talking about hot topics, we were talking about we were talking about the hypocrisy of the church. We're supposed to have open doors and we're supposed to open our hearts and our minds to other people, and it seems like there's certain circles in the evangelical community and in the church community where it's becoming like this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
What do you say about that, or how do you feel about that?
It's frustrating, you know, like there's even churches that I've recently come in contact with, and on the surface it's like, we love everybody, we're a secret church,
Yeah.
you're welcome here, we have Starbucks in our lobby. But then you really start talking to them and they're like, we don't believe women are equal to men, like they can't lead a man, and you're like, oh, what? And some other words that I can't say on the radio. And you know, it's like, whoa, some people are really stuck in the past.
They
like,
are stuck.
I'm trying to get people to love gay folks. I'm trying to get people to love Muslims and Jews. And y'all are still talking about, are women equal to men?
It's like they're backwards. They're on a whole. I don't even say whole another level. They're on a lower level, and they don't want to come to what's happening right now.
A lot of people
are scared of what's happening right now.
A lot of people are still baptized in baptized in Bible study. You know, because I do tell people that, you know, you need to evaluate your own BS and your own Bible study in a sense, because what you preach and what you proclaim when people come to your church is like, you ain't practicing what you preaching.
That's right.
It's crazy.
Right, it's like, well, you need to change this and change that before you can become a part of my church. Like right now, my church, I just asked the question, like, how do you become a part of this church? You know, because now they're like, well, no, you got to go through the confessions class, you got to go through this, and then we'll accept you as a member. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on, ain't that backwards?
Right.
But that's how a lot of religions are. You have to go through all of this. You got to fix yourself because before we can accept you. And it's like, but that's not what you preach. That's not your gospel.
That's like a hospital being like, you can't come in until you're healed.
Yeah.
You got to look all right. You got to feel right until
Right.
we're welcoming you into our walls.
And everything else gets to upgrade your computer, but religion doesn't. You know, isn't it the time to evaluate?
Room with two preachers.
He's coming in the Cadillac and a Honda. You know, but you know, and really, because right now, last week was a Reformation. It was like the beginning of the church when people start asking about, wait a minute, are we doing this the right way? And you brought up Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King got his name from the reformer Martin Luther, and he said, wait a minute, isn't this stuff backwards? We are doing these things backwards, and I'm not trying to change the church. I'm just trying to ask questions.
Absolutely.
How are people able to come to Christ? Y'all putting up things, and y'all even putting it into a situation where they can't even read it for themselves.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, and it's like you said, people, it's a passive aggressive thing to be like, I love you as long as you change. I love you as long as you convert how I believe.
Absolutely.
Instead of just, I love you exactly.
I love you as who you are.
Exactly the way you are. And it's funny because you talk to people that are really big in church, and for those that have come from big ministries where their numbers are starting to dwindle, they think what's going to get young people back in the church is a cafe with some Starbucks and skinny jeans. And that is not what's going to get young people back in the church.
No.
Or it's not what's going to attract. It's here. It's in your heart. You know, it's you speaking the truth. You know?
Well,
and
I'm going to say, when I was younger, if I saw some girl with some skinny jeans, that would make me at least check out a program or two. I'm just saying, I'm just being honest, you got some Starbucks too up in there?
No, but I'm saying that was a try, especially in the mid-2000s and up. People were doing the whole, let's get a cafe in there, let's get the preacher dressing more casual. So we can relate.
It might get them there, but it's not going to keep them there.
It's not going to keep them right. You still got to have something that really, you got to have a message. Something new and a new narrative, a new language, for the people. Now, I do say that church needs to involve the actual building and stuff itself, because if you're still singing the same hymn that your great-great-grandmama was singing, okay, maybe it's time to evaluate how you do church, because sometimes it's a new generation, it's a new thing.
But I'm saying embrace that
generation. Embrace that generation, and that's what I'm saying, embrace that, incorporate it in, but at the same time, it's the true. What are you doing, and what's the reason? Why are you coming to church?
Well, we're going to have to embrace some sponsors real quick. Judah, how do we get in contact with you?
Official Judah, Judah. That's my Twitter handle, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me. DM me.
Man, if you don't sound like a rapper, look, follow me on it. I'm on the flippy.
You are a rapper, aren't you? Oh, we got to talk about that when we come back, dude.
Okay, we might get a freestyle.
He a rapper, you a stripper?
We can do the whole video and everything, right?
I got kids, so I ain't nothing.
I ain't got no kids. I don't need to embarrass, but I can, and we can do it though. Anyway, Donnie, how do they get in contact with us again?
They get in touch with us at DonnieJonesLive@gmail.com. That's Donnie, Doni Jones, Jones, live at gmail.com.
And you know what? If you really want to know how Doni thinks, she has a book out there that you can always purchase and pick up at Amazon.
Yep.
You know, I got a couple of them in my trunk. If you holler at me or text me.
See you on the corner to get one.
We can work it out, all right? It's called Fabulous.
From Failure to Fabulous.
Right.
How did I not remember that? From Failure to Fabulous. That's my book. Hit me up on Amazon at Doni Jones, Doni Jones. And also your church. We got to talk about, you have a church too.
I told you I don't want people to come there. They come there with problems. But if you do, my church is St. Mark Lutheran Church. It's on Washington Road in East Parent, Georgia. That's East Parent. Yeah, I said it right. But yeah, we had 11 o'clock service, and we mostly African Americans, so it's like 11:05, 11:15. But just being real, all right? But we'll be right back. We're gonna pay some bills.
Yeah.
Doni Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DoniJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DoniJonesLive@gmail.com. Hey, got a comment about the show? Or would you like to just be a guest? Send us an email at DoniJonesLive@gmail.com. Now, back to more Doni Jones Live with Doni and Mardy.
We are back. I am your host, Doni Jones. You're listening to Doni Jones Live, and we are hanging out with
Mardy Ringer. Yeah,
Yes.
just Mardy. Yeah, that's me.
That's
Yep,
right.
yep.
And we got Judah.
Yes, we got Judah Swilley.
Judah Swilley on the show today. Pastor, artist, and TV personality extraordinaire. We were just talking about Marty's church, and he don't want nobody to come there, but I think you want some people to come to yours.
Yeah. We'll take.
You know,
If you don't want to go to Marty's, come on down to Judy's. Come on down to Judy's.
They can go to your 11 o'clock
they can come to
service,
mine
and
and my 11, and then they can go down
There
there.
you
No,
go.
you know, I say you can come. You know, I'm always inviting to church, but you know, something did happen at my church, and I want to ask you, how would you deal with it in your church? Because you somebody made the comment that, you know, people that don't speak English, someone that comes into your church, because right now I have a guy that's coming to my church that doesn't speak English, and he don't speak Spanish either, because I got a Spanish-speaking person, and I sent him over there. I know it's wrong. I said, well, he speaks some kind of foreign language. You look like you might speak. Can you go over there and speak his language? You know.
Yeah.
Right.
And the guy, I guess, from Korea, so he's like, I don't speak that language. But he just, you know, so we
You
try
gotta
to
start speaking in tongues, bro.
I know. I thought about that too.
They will understand all languages.
They don't, yeah, right. But so
What's
he
your
sits
question,
there.
Jordy?
But he comes there. Right, he comes there. He's been coming there, but I can't communicate with him.
Wow.
What would you do in that situation?
No, that's deep, man. Yeah, like I mean, we had some Spanish-speaking people come last week, and luckily for me, my fiance is Mexican, so she's bilingual.
And she's
That's
beautiful.
an easy
All
language.
good.
That's beautiful.
Right,
That's an
right.
easy
Yeah,
one.
you can get away with it. You can be like,
I can get away with
Come
that.
on,
Right.
I can do that one. But it's like when you don't know, okay, I don't even know how to rhyme with that one.
Right,
Where you from?
right.
He just
Right.
showed me a passport.
But you know what?
you got to download the Google Translator.
Yeah, Google
Oh.
Translator. And then that way he can hear you. But here's the thing, though. At least he wanted to be there. That says
Right.
a lot about you. That
Yeah.
says you're doing
True.
something right.
And
you
no,
know?
it just means he don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
You know, so he can't disagree with my
Judah
sermon.
is doing something right, too.
Right, but that's why I'm trying to get advice, because I think he's a very seasoned person, and then, you know, especially being on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Because like with me, I'm nervous about being here, but you being on a bigger scale, how has that changed your theology or your view, and has it changed in the past?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, being on a bigger scale has not changed my theology. Like, I've always just believed what I believe. I think ultimately you're always evolving and growing in what you believe, but
Right.
not by virtue of success. You know what I mean? I
But
don't care
the thing
how.
is, you deal with people that are in Hollywood, that
Yeah.
are in TV and the cinema and everything. Do they have a problem with the angle that you're coming from, or do you find yourself having to censor yourself?
It's just like yes and no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on who you're talking to. Like, everybody's different. Some people are super faith-based and like they love what I do. And other people, like, no matter who it is, though, I will say this: a lot of people, most people respect what I do.
Yeah.
So even if they don't believe, like, I have friends that are atheists. You know what I mean? But I don't push my belief on them and force it down their throat. They're just like, yo, like, I don't really get down with it, but like, I really respect what you do, and like, that's cool. So it's all good as long as we respect each other. Like, I don't have to convert you, man. Like,
Right.
let's be friends, bro.
And I think that's the most important thing is like not trying to convert people, you know. But you know, and I'm gonna ask you like this from a pastor and from where you're at now. Did you go through the situation where your relationship with Christ or your relationship evolved or changed? I'm saying if you grew up as a PK or minister's son, you know, because I know my views that I had when I was growing up has changed, you know, for over the years, you know, and I see it a different way. Was there a period that you changed or said, okay, maybe what I've been taught in the past might not have been what I grew up with, and how do I accept the new?
Yeah, I think like
if that makes sense.
But again, it's like every day I'm kind of going through that. You know what I mean? Like you wake up and you want to dive deeper and know God more. So it's like, let me reevaluate what I believe and what I think, or at least hear another viewpoint.
Okay,
so for me, it's like I've kind of always believed in the inclusive love of God. You know, that's always been there. But I want to dive in deeper and like hear someone else out. If they're Jewish or if they're Muslim, like why do you believe in the way that you believe? If you're Hindu or Buddhist, why do you believe? And let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Let's debate. Let's communicate.
What do you see as the future? Piggybacking on what he's just said, what do you see as the future of where the church is going right now? Because there are people keep saying that, you know, churches are dying, but some of them are dying, but some of them are growing because they're inclusive. Yeah. What do you see in the future for as far as the Christian faith or ministry right now?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. Like for me, I think that if I knew the answer fully, then I would bottle it and probably sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would too.
And I would use it.
Yeah,
got to.
I'm gonna bottle that stuff.
Yeah, but like what I'm putting my money on is people being activated. Like faith without works is dead. Yeah. Faith without action is just it's null and void, man. So like we can believe, and that's great. Like what you believe is interesting for a conversation. Like oh, do you believe in heaven or hell? Like do you believe in that like gay people are accepted? It's like I don't want to argue about that stuff anymore. Like let's talk about the person who's starving. And
Right.
I mean, like we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Republican, Democrat, like we can go like feed someone together.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know, we can clothe the naked and do the things that Jesus actually told us to do.
Right.
So like I think that the future of the church is just getting more activated, like being action oriented in our community, like making an actual difference, and being the change that we want to see. You know, like that's our responsibility as the church, man. Like, and I think we can do it. But that's what the young people are excited about, is making a change. And if we're gonna reach them in the future, then we have to show them that we're willing to help out with that movement, with that change. And I want to be on the forefront of that.
Well, you are on the forefront. In fact, we are here talking with Judah Swilley. And once again, how do people get in touch with you? Because you're just an amazing pastor and leader, man. And I want people to be able to reach you.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Official Judah, Judah, man. Follow me, I'll follow back, send me a DM, all that kind of good stuff.
I'm still learning that stuff.
Right, the DM, I'm thinking of bowel movement. No, DM. Oh, that's the wrong syllable. DM, okay.
D as in dog.
It's early, I'm still needing my coffee. Now, where's your church located at? Is it here?
That's what I meant
we're in East Atlanta, man. We're in Zone 6.
You in my area. I'm in East. Wait, hold on.
Right off Moreland Ave.
Okay, we don't need to promote the church no more, because I'm saying just say,
there's enough to go around. There's enough people to go around.
Yeah, what time is yours?
5 p.m. So
okay. We need 2 different times.
Some people have to sleep in and wake up. Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what I want to ask you about real quick, and this won't take long. Before we go to break, how did you come up with 5 o'clock in the evening on a Sunday? I love that.
Because Sunday morning is the most segregated hour of the week.
Well, we know that, but I'm thinking
that's perfect.
Well,
I
travel a lot. You know, I'm in the music industry, so a lot of times I'm up I go to bed like 4 a.m. You know what I mean?
With the hangover, and you get
a lot of money.
I got it. That works.
But I
Atlanta
travel.
Music Festival is all I'm gonna say.
Right. No, but I travel to a lot of churches too, like in the mornings. And, like, do my thing, speak or lead worship, and it allows me to be able to do that and also reach my people. So
awesome.
But we're open to doing a morning service. Like when it grows to that level, we'll launch that.
And I just heard you mention speaking, and I think people need to know you do speaking engagements,
Absolutely.
you DJ, you will come pastor. Tell everybody what you do so we can.
Yeah.
I mean, they know where to reach you, but what you do. So
just book me, man. Just like reach out. I would love to come out. We'll talk. We'll sing. We'll do whatever you need us to do. And by us, I mean me and my 3 personalities. So really excited about that.
Right.
Yeah, it's me and 2 others, man, and we're all very talented. You know what I mean? One of us is a rapper, one of us is a pastor, the other one is a television personality. But we're gonna come together and we'll win for you, man. So book us, and we're excited about it.
That's right.
See, that's my service too. If you got some change, I can do some things. You want me to be a preacher? You want me to be just a motivational encourager?
That's right.
If you just want me to just stand in your living room, then look at you. I will do that. I will be yellow butter for you.
That's right. That's his stripper name, y'all.
Right.
Yellow
Whatever you
butter.
need. If
Or
you
into some
change.
weird stuff.
Right. Hey, it works. It opens people's mind, and you can show them Jesus.
That's right.
That's right. And how do we get in contact
Or you can
with
show
us?
the light of Jesus. You can get in contact with us at DoniJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DoniJones live@gmail.com.
That's right. And if you want to get my book, From Failure to Fabulous, you can go on Amazon. And then if you really want to give me some right now kind of business, call me at, you ain't got to call me, but I got Don's Tree Service, right? That's what I do.
Yeah, you can go to the website, DoniJonesLive.com, and you can purchase it there,
There
too.
you go.
All
No,
right.
that's right.
Yeah,
I like that.
right, yeah, it's easy.
Well, easy as peasy, right?
Okay, let's go and pay the bills.
Okay, let's go pay some bills. Right on.
Doni Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DoniJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DoniJonesLive@gmail.com.
Welcome back. I am your host, Doni Jones, hanging out with...
The Honorable Marty Ringer McFly.
You ain't right, dude. And today on our show, we have pastor, artist, and TV personality Judah Swilley.
Yeah.
A man on a mission.
Yes.
You just said something through the break that I was just like, I wanted to ask you about. Did you feel like you was crazy growing up? Because I grew up Pentecostal, and I know their religion reminded they do a whole lot of shouting and speaking in tongues, and it was cool if you inside the church, but then whenever I brought a guest and they started shouting and everything, it's like, just don't look over there. Just
don't pay attention.
And it's like, do you believe in that? And you on that fence of like, yeah, I believe in it, but because it's funny when Sarah Palin was running and then found out that she was Pentecostal, I said, ooh, they about to criticize her because they're the ones that speak. But did you ever have any issues with that?
Well, I mean, growing up, like, you have to get used to it. But I think, like, if you're a kid growing up in it, it's normal. Like you said, it's like you don't really realize it's weird.
I ain't gonna lie, it scared me. When somebody got the Holy Ghost at my grandma's church, because I grew up Islamic, so they didn't really do
right. No, it was
Yeah.
normal for me. Like, if I went to a church that didn't do that, I was like, this is boring, bro.
Yeah.
Like, turn up, you know what I mean? Like the ghost is not here, you know what I mean? So our churches were always like super alive, and like I was blessed. Like my dad was the pastor, so he was always cool. So he didn't really like do anything like weird. But we were definitely, I mean, like speaking songs, people like falling out under the Spirit. So like I grew up in that, so that's normal for me. But
so you know how to make people do that?
Yeah. If you want to do that,
if you want to do it, it's not that hard to do.
Right.
I became Lutheran afterwards, but I didn't know that the churches was different. So I went in with my Pentecostal background into a Lutheran church, and they made me the pastor.
Yeah, he's the pastor now of a Lutheran church.
Because I didn't know that there's supposed to be these rules and regulations. I went in and I know what my background is. I know my training. Yeah. And, and then it was just pretty much fill in, can you just speak?
Right.
Yeah.
But I was bringing that. But once I realized, I was like, okay, I like this. And this is why they like me, because I love the energy of the Pentecostal church.
I do too.
And I'm not going to argue about their theology.
I love the energy, but what I don't like is it seems like sometimes it's just theatrics without substance.
A lot of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of preachers that it's how you say something versus what you're actually saying. If you can say something in a powerful and inspiring way, and it's also like actually inspiring, I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like,
that's what I love about our church. It's inspiring, it's insightful. You teach something, and you get people happy. You know what I mean?
But you got to watch out, because some people just say it's holy peanut butter, and they'll jump up and start running around, shouting. It's like spiritual exercise.
He good. He's so
good.
He
good.
He
woke you up, and they're just running around. But it's like the voice. But understand that some people need that.
Right.
Some people, that's their connection to their guy. And we can sit back and say, you crazy, because I do that a lot in the pulpit, and I just look at him like, you stupid, you crazy.
You can't say that you say that in the pulpit.
I said it in my mind. I don't say it out loud.
Right.
But but being raised up like that, and with my parents, we go into different places like that all the time, where you see people who, I always believed in that time, if you're under the influence of God and the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Ghost is upon you, it protects you. But I've seen enough people bust their head on that pool, on that chair,
That's how you know it's real, though.
Right, how do you know it's real? You're jumping and the God's protecting you, just, oh, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Right.
And all of a sudden,
night. That's that real stuff.
And it's like, how did the Holy Ghost get knocked the hell out of you that fast? Right.
Oh, true. I feel you. My thing is like, as long as you're eating, it's all good. Like if you look at it as like spiritual chef.
You were talking about lunch for a second.
Barbecue. I am talking about that too. But like on a spiritual level, as long as you're eating, it doesn't matter where you go, man.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
Everybody prefers like you said, lunch. On a physical level, we prefer different type of restaurants. You know what I mean? Some people like buffets. Some people like a fine dining. Some people like a fast food restaurant. But as long as you're getting nutrients, it's all good, baby. So I don't care if you're Lutheran or Pentecostal.
Right.
I don't care if you're Baptist or Methodist. Just eat.
Just eat.
That's right. You gonna help them eat.
I'm gonna help
because
you
it's
eat.
a relationship.
And I'm the best chef.
That's
but just eat.
There you go.
But the other chefs are cool too. The other chefs are cool.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. Like you say, you grew up in ministry, and it's almost like a foretold thing that you were gonna be a minister. But there had to be a somewhere in your life where you said, "Okay, I'm choosing this life for myself."
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, like being a 5th generation pastor, like.
They didn't beat you and say you gonna be a pastor.
No, because think about it. Like I have 2 brothers and a sister, and none of them are in ministry.
Right.
So like, you know what I mean, and they don't feel the pressure to do that. So like, it of course, a part of me is like legacy driven and like, dude, I want to carry that forth. But
you got a great
at the end
legacy.
of the day, like if you're gonna be in ministry, you have to want it. You
Yeah.
have to be just a little bit crazy, and you have to be willing to like deal with all the crazy nonsense. It's so fulfilling.
Yeah.
But you also have to be cut out for it. Like my dad always said, he's like, if you even have to ask if you're called, then the answer is no.
Yes.
Like you should already know. Like you already know.
Yeah.
Like doing ministry is like my heart beating. It's like eating. It's like sleeping. It's like it's as natural as that. It's within my DNA.
Well, it's funny you say that because I just said the same thing to somebody on Facebook about being married. That he was dating his chick, and he's like, "Hey, how long do you guys wait before you ask somebody if you should marry him? How do you know when?" I'm like, "Okay, that ain't the time for you to be married. If you want to ask, it is not the right time."
With my wife, I knew I lost my job, and I knew I needed some kind of stability, so that I asked her to marry me.
Oh my God!
I knew I didn't have to ask anything else. She had a house, she had a good job,
health benefits.
She had
it's all good.
I didn't have to ask. I didn't have no other kind of employment. Dental and everything.
I will spend my life with you.
Shoot, and your family got some money. It's a business opportunity. We got married that day.
That's an investment.
But
I ain't lying.
in a loving relationship, you just
we
know.
love, but I love money.
money.
Shoot.
But when you decided to become a minister, your family was extremely proud of you. But did you have to find your own path? Like, did you look at them and go, "Okay, I don't want to do it like this," or "I do want to do it like this"? Like, was that an evolution for you?
You know what's interesting is like my family, in some ways, I'm more progressive than them, and then in other ways, I'm more traditional than them.
Okay.
Because even my dad, you
your
visited
dad
his
is
church.
awesome.
Oh, he's awesome.
Can I just tell you, I love your dad.
Yeah.
And he is looking like a dude out of a magazine now.
I know, dude. He's like slimming down, getting buff.
I was like, you should be modeling or something.
He's killing it. He's killing it. But he'll always say, like, he kind of jokes, like, Judah is the last Christian in our family. You know what I mean? Because, like, my family, like, although they believe in God, they've become more inclusive of other faiths and stuff like that, which I am as well.
Yeah.
I just demonstrate it. I preach it through the lens of a Christian background. So like if you come to my church, like it's Christian, you know what I mean? We're gonna talk about Jesus, we're gonna have worship songs, but there's nothing wrong with how they do it as well. So in some ways I have followed in those steps, and in other ways I've done it my own way. It's like I want to be on the forefront of something new, but I also want to use some of the fundamentals. I don't want to lose that.
Well, see, and that's the thing. You don't want to lose the fundamentals, which is like the baseline. Yeah. But we've got to progress as a church. We've got to progress as a community. We've got to be more inclusive, you know?
Right.
And that's what I love about what you're doing. I really do.
That.
Have you found it hard? Because you seem to be able to navigate black, white, Latino. I mean, you got so much swag. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
He's a chameleon. He's a DJ. He's a personality. He's entertainment and everything of that nature. I just applaud what you're doing too. And just in a sense, and pushing church into the new direction.
Yeah. Well, on that note, you can't create some like multicultural thing. You just have to be yourself and people respond to it.
You can't fake it.
No, you can't fake the funk.
You gotta let it grow.
We're gonna do gospel this week. We got the Winans on here.
Right.
Like, no, like,
I didn't want to call nobody out, but
like we'll do Winans, but we're also gonna do Chris Tomlin and like Planet Shakers. Like, it's all good, but like real recognizes real. That's right. And I'm just real. People ask me, white churches ask me all the time, and black churches. They'll be like, "How do we get black folks in our church? How do we get white folks in our church?" I'm like, bro, just be you.
Just be you.
If your heart, if your treasure is where your heart is, and your church is your treasure, then the church will match your heart. And if your heart is inclusive, then your church will be inclusive.
Right.
And if it's not, then look at your heart.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
It starts for me.
Man, he's already preaching up here. I'm like, no, it's not 2 more minutes left.
Everybody
Oh how do we get in contact with you again?
Follow
You
me.
gotta come back again.
Yes, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the good social medias at Official Judah. Official JUDAH.
We're gonna bring the offering plate too next time.
sir.
Yeah, we having church.
And I feel like I was
10%.
talking over him a little bit. Go ahead. How can we get in touch with you
sorry.
again?
Me? Oh,
Yeah, I was
Official
talking over
Judah.
you.
No, you good. Official Judah. Follow me, man. All the social medias, and I'm always trying to stay updated on that. And I'm about to be launching a whole lot of new stuff on my social media too. I've been kind of quiet. I've been kind of quiet recently, but working on a podcast, working on some new video content. So like, it's just God's been like working in me. It's like I'm like a ticking time bomb.
Well, allow us to put out our services. If you need anything that we can do or anything that we can do to help you out,
Absolutely,
to push your message,
That's right.
in any aspect. So, because
awesome.
we do
I
have a
appreciate that.
production company called Vast. But
Vast Productions.
Vast Production. But we'll talk about that more because I think we're running out of time.
That's
We're
right.
running out of time. We got to get out of here.
Marty, we gotta go.
Right. So just say I'll see y'all next week right here on Doni Jones Live.
Yes, and I am Doni Jones. This is my co-host,
Marty Ringer, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Doni Jones Live is sponsored by Don's Tree Service. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send us an email at DoniJonesLive@gmail.com. That's DoniJonesLive@gmail.com.